and thanks for staying with us. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service continues with members of the National Assembly on custom matters in Abuja. Also on custom support, the Federal Operation Unit Zone B seized goods worth over 194 million naira in the month of May alone, 2021. Plus more report. I am Igeseme Etienne. Stay tuned. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has said that the management of Nigerian Customs Service will continue to implement measures that will further increase the revenue base of the country. He made a pledge while briefing members of the National Assembly Committee on Customs in Abuja.
First and foremost, on the issue of vehicles being accosted, so I must have enlightened that we have three layers of making sure that our laws are enforced. We have at the port the area controllers and their team. We have the FOU, Federal Operation Unit, and also we have the strike force. And because of the discretion and sometimes the indiscretion of our officers, where compromise is being made between the importers and our officers, we have to put other layers to check these things. And that is why you sometimes will find out, let me say this, that there are cloned custom documents going about. Agents will connive with our officers. When you pay as an importer, you give him the correct duty, he will calculate the correct amount of the duty you're supposed to pay with all charges. He gives you, and you give him the money. He will go and connive with a custom officer and reduce the distance. And then they clone the paper, and you take the vehicle out. For the FOU chap, as far as is concerned, that paper you presented did not meet the requisite requirement. That happens sometimes to innocent importers. There are also importers who connive directly with the agents and reduce the and then expect that paper, when it's out, that is done. It's not like Bible and Quran, no. It's subject to checking. And if we discover that the value of the car that you are riding is not commensurate with the duty you pay, then you question. And let me also say, the issue of saying you buy a car for 180,000 naira or also euro. Cost duty of car is not only the value of the car you bought the car. There's cost of the vehicle, there's insurance, there's freight. All these are calculated to what you pay as duty. So sometimes we need to ask questions before we begin to fight the system. If they give you an amount, ask the customs officer, what is the composition of this amount? What are the subheads that makes up this total? He will explain to you. It's not only because you bought a car for 130 euro, and therefore you will come and just look at the cost of the car and then no. There's insurance, there's freight. All those are calculated and added to the value based on the cost. So you pay. That's what the law says. So it's not that So let us ask questions. I'm sure our officers will be able to explain some of these things. And that's why the issue of underpayment do arise. Because if you compromise, or your agent compromise, in most cases agent, now we have taken the steps in custom to prosecute agents, because we have discovered that agents are cheating importers. They know the correct charges. They will calculate everything and give it to you, and you give them the money. They will go and take that money, and then if you say your car is 2018 or 2019, they will go and reduce that car to 2009, and then say it's accidental. And they know that the value will drop, and they will pay that. And when you bring that car out, and an FOU officer sees you with that car, and you present that document, he looks at the car, it does not meet that description. And therefore you are liable to pay another money. So this is what is happening. This is what is happening. And we are doing the best we can, but always ask the question. And that's why we're trying to automate the system. By e-custom, you can sit in your house. You want to import Mercedes 250E. You will see the freight, you will see what is the insurance on it, what is the freight on it. You calculate your duty. You can pay online without talking to anybody. Then you can ask an agent to go and collect it for you. It makes it easier. We are trying to automate the system. And once that is automated, this discretion will remove completely. And therefore, agents will not, but today, agents are one of our biggest problems. Because they give you a different listing, and they go and do a different thing. And they give you, when they collect the paper, you don't even know which one is genuine, which one is not genuine. As far as we are concerned, you have a genuine custom paper. But by the time the officer looks at it and says it's not genuine, the quarrel will start. How come, is it not from custom that it comes? It might not be from custom. It might not be from custom. I am going to respond to this one after the other. I would first take the chairman's comments on the issue of the budget of 2021 and the need to increase it from the 1.4 trillion to 1.679 trillion. Let me crave the indulgence of the chairman here to say the target set by the federal government every year is based on some parameters. Is not based on an ad hoc computation. First and foremost, the MTEF, which is the budget committee, sits down and look at and do a complete analysis, and then do a projection. And with our own officers, we also sit down and look at what is feasible that can be generated. And Mr. Chairman, I make haste to say this last year, 2020, we are lucky. Despite the COVID-19, we were able to garner this. But as at then, the African Free Trade Agreement did not come into place. African Free Trade Agreement has now taken effect from the 1st of January 2021. And that agreement is geared towards zero duty for all imports coming from member countries within Africa. Imports coming from countries within Africa is a significant percentage in the collection of duty we do. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, if you recall when Ngozi Owela was here, she made mention of the WTO agreement. That also has come into effect, and we are signatory to that treaty. What is also gearing to us is zero duty to the import of member countries. So if we take this into consideration, Mr. Chairman, and I also want to say here that the COVID that we are praying assiduously that COVID subsides. The vaccine is getting on and very well, although many Nigerians are shying away from it, from what I gathered. But hopefully, very soon it will pick up and most of us will be vaccinated and protected against this pandemic. But we must also make sure you understand that a lot of industries outside Nigeria have suffered tremendous injuries with regards to the COVID. So picking up and really producing and of course for our own people to be able to buy these things will take a longer time. So putting all this together, Mr. Chairman, and then when we look at the target, we would crave the indulgence of this committee to understand that we rather trade on fair ground than to be in a haste. We need to take it slowly. 1.4, the last time when the COVID came into place, the government decided to reduce that budget to 1.3 trillion. By God's grace, we were able to get 1.5 total collection. So it is also our hope that if we get anything above 1.4, it will reflect in the collection. But I don't want us to set the target too high, and then at the end of the day, we find it difficult to meet, and we feel somehow that we have not been able to perform. But there are variables, intervening variables, that I want you to take into consideration.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Federal Operation Unit Zone B has intercepted goods worth over 194 million naira for smugglers in the month of May alone. The controller said that the unit will continue to implement all government policies in all clearance of consignment coming into the country. The Federal Operation Unit Zone B has accepted 753 bags of foreign rice, 646 cartons of foreign spaghetti, and 355 cartons of foreign soap, including 25 liters of vegetable oil, seized from smugglers. The unit also seized 103 parcels of cannabis, 15 vehicles, and 6 motorbikes used from smugglers.
Most of the evacuation of this type of this drug is done on motorcycle. Once they sight customs, they will run away and leave the machine, the motorcycle, and the products there. So it was an abandoned seizure, but we are making some investigation to ensure that this does not escape again. So this is one of the very good seizure we made within the month of under review.
Yes, sir. What is inside?
It's Indian hemp. It's an Indian hemp, popularly known as cannabis. It's very dangerous drug. It has been classified by WHO as a dangerous drug. It's not allowed, especially in this part of the country, even on medicinal ground. It's not allowed. So it's a dangerous drug that everybody should put it together to ensure that it doesn't escape, it doesn't circulate in the general public. These rides were intercepted from various locations within the zone. As you must be aware, we have 10 states that is covered by this unit. Some came from Ilorin, some came from Kebbi, Zamfara, Jigawa, Kogi, and all those states that are under us. I want to take advantage and tell you again that other seizures that cannot be evacuated to Kaduna here due to logistics and distance are always domiciled to the area commands where such seizures were made. So some reports are not here, but they are domesticated where they were arrested. Here we have 753 bags of 50 kg of our rice. These are things that are supposed to be produced locally here. We have very good patriotic Nigerians who secured loans from commercial banks to set up factories that will produce this so that there will be multiplier effect on Nigerians in terms of employment generation, conservation of foreign exchange, and so many good things that we are expected to enjoy. So we don't allow it to come. We'll see it no matter the quantity. Even if it's a carton.
He called on stakeholders for a better cooperation in exposing illegal activities and help the fight against smuggling and the betterment of Nigeria.
We have 355 cartons of Ever, Give and Ghana soap. These are assorted soap, valued at 9.4 million. We have 236 bales of foreign new textile fabric, valued at 62.3 million. We have 152 kegs of Roman motor spirit, that's PMS, and 25 liters, valued at 7 million. We also have 140 cartons of pharmaceutical products which have no NAFDAC, which means it has not complied with the requirement of NAFDAC, valued at 8.4 million. We have 112 kegs of foreign vegetable oil and 25 liters, 112 kegs of foreign vegetable oil, valued at 7.4 million naira. Others are 70 cartons of tin tomato paste valued at 3.055 million naira, 58 sacks bales of second-hand clothing valued at 8.6 million naira, 29 cartons of foreign Guinea milky creamer valued at 459,000 naira. Others also include 12 cartons of foreign couscous, 12 vehicles which are means of carriage, 6 units of motorcycle also as means of carriage, 5 bags of foreign refined sugar, 5 bags of foreign snuff, and 3 units of used vehicles valued at 36 million. All in all, the value of what I told you now stand at 194,565,388 naira 81 kobo. That in APOU Zambia here, our spirit is very, very high. We are motivated, we are encouraged, and we continue to give in our best to ensure more serious, more peculiar arrests are made for the good of this country. By the time I take you around, you will see we have 103 parcels of cannabis in the hemp. I consider this the seizure of this cannabis as important, along with the PMS, because these are the ingredients that promote violence, that promote banditry, that promote smuggling. So it's a thing of joy the command was able to get these peculiar items despite other things we have seized. We continue to be vigilant. We continue to increase our power observation. At the end of the day, nothing will escape us. I want to urge the stakeholders to continue to partner with customs. Now, particularly rice millers, rice farmers, I want to say we have been very, very good partners in progress over time. We have been working together as agency responsible for translation of government fiscal policy into reality. We need to work together to ensure the survival of your investment.
The custom boss emphasized the need for officers to ensure appropriate use of customs procedure in all their operations. The acting controller in charge of Katsina Command and also deputy controller of customs has seized goods worth over 100 million naira from smugglers. The custom boss seized foreign rice, vegetable oil, cartons of foreign tomato from smugglers operating along the border. The seized goods is worth over 101 million naira. It speaks more on the seizure.
We have 14 vehicles, starting from a Toyota Hilux model 2020 model to the tune of 29,700,000. Toyota Land Cruiser Prado Jeep 2020 model with a DPB, duty paid value of 40 million. We have Honda Beat Express wagon with a DPB of 3,735,000. We have Toyota RAV4, 7 million. We have Mercedes-Benz, 1,890,000. We have Passat wagon with a DPB value of 1,620,000. Also have been used Nissan Pathfinder, which was the total DPB 607,000. We have Volkswagen Golf with a DPB of 675,000 naira. We have a Golf, DPB of 675,000 naira also. Ducato Fiat Boss with a DPB of 405,000 naira. We have Peugeot 504 with a DPB of 135,000. Also use J5 Peugeot Boss with a DPB of 405,000 naira. Citroen vehicle with a DPB of 675,000 naira. Lastly, a Mercedes-Benz 911 Tifa with a DPB of 4,050,000 naira. A total of 14 vehicles of 91,592,000 naira. Total DPB of 91,592,000 naira. Put a foreign rice 50 kg each, 226 bags valued at DPB value of 4,972,000. Foreign rice 25 kg each, 6 bags 66,000 naira. While a vegetable oil 25 liters each, 48 jerry cans with a DPB of 792,000. Cartons of foreign tomato paste, 25 cartons, a DPB of 275,000 naira. Cartons of foreign spaghetti, 122 cartons, with a DPB of 585,600 naira. Cartons of foreign couscous, 7 cartons, with a DPB of 33,600 naira. Tiger nuts, 40 bags, DPB 576,000 naira. Animal feeds, 50 kilo each, 33 bags, DPB of 1,500,000, that is 199,650,000. 650,000. Then we have cakes of PMS, petroleum motor spirits, with that is 8,775 liters, with a DPB value of 1,544,400 naira. Then the lastly, cartons of condensed milk, 31 cartons, a DPB of 390,600 naira.
The Controller General of Central African Republic, who is in Nigeria for a working visit, also visited Semek Border Command with the Assistant Controller General of Customs, Zone A. The ACG was welcomed by the Customs Area Controller at the border.
The controller here and his officers are doing that dutifully. One thing about us, custom officers, wherever we find ourselves, we always come with innovations, new innovations, to leave the place better than we find it. Nigerian Customs Service divided our locations into 4 zones, A, B, C, D. So we usually rotate officers from, usually the ones from Zone B will come to Zone A. And then Zone A goes to Zone B, and then Zone, just like that, we rotate. So what they were doing where they are coming from is not what they will do in the new area command where they are going. That is the need for that induction course as soon as they arrive their new locations.
If you observe, the joint border post is an area where 2 countries are working together. So everything is done. We have what you call common control zone. And the joint border post, it has 3 controls. We have private vehicles.
Nous avons espace pour les véhicules privés.
We have commercial vehicles.
Nous avons espace pour les véhicules commerciaux.
And we have pedestrian.
Well,
I think almost all of us know Nigerian Customs Service is saddled with responsibilities.
C'est chargé avec la responsabilité
Suppression of smuggling,
de la suppression du contrebande.
revenue. We render statistics to the Federal Ministry of
Et
Statistics,
nous
plan planning,
pour le planning
and budgetary purposes.
et pour aussi faire le budget de l'État.
We equally perform some security functions.
Nous sommes aussi chargés de la sécurité de l'État.
Thank you. The Semi-Area Command, sir,
La recette de la douane du Sénégal,
in our anti-smuggling activities,
dans notre fonction de suppression
from the time the border were reopened,
The ACG also speaks more on his visit to the border with the CG of Customs from Central African Republic.
To do something for border communities. He has started building boreholes. He has started, renovating the schools, the existing schools that we found in the communities, and also hospitals. These are the things he's doing currently, and I am aware that he set up a committee to look into this. with us that this will go a long way. The problems that the border commands face is smuggling. It is smuggling. So this will really go a long way in curbing it. Synergize with the locals, that is the traditional rulers. You must synergize with your other sister agencies.
Just before I round up this week edition of the program Custom Support, we brought you a report where goods worth millions of naira was seized by some commands in the country. For me, Egeseme Ejie, thanks for watching.